All right, let's talk about money, but probably not money as you know it. We're going to dive into something called DeFi, and it is completely changing the game. We're talking about reimagining our entire financial world, right from the ground up. So let me just throw this out there. What if your bank had no bankers? I mean, really picture that for a second. No tellers, no loan officers, not a single manager in sight. It sounds a little crazy, right? Kind of like something out of a sci-fi movie, but this is the exact idea we're going to unpack. And trust me, it's way more real than you might think.
But look, before we get to building that bank without bankers, we got to start with the foundation. And that foundation? It's crypto. You really can't get your head around this new financial world without getting a handle on this first.
So what even is crypto? Well, the simplest way to think about it is just digital money. But here's the cool part. The real magic is in how it's all tracked. Forget a bank's private little ledger. Instead, I want you to imagine a giant shared notebook that's called the blockchain. And because everyone has a copy and is constantly checking it, nobody can go in and fake an entry or change the rules. You just can't cheat the system. And that, right there, gives us a kind of security and transparency that, well, you just don't get with regular banks.
And of course, the one that started it all, the original, was Bitcoin. It was the first to prove that this whole digital notebook idea could actually work for real, all across the world.
Okay, so we've got this secure digital money. Great. But what do you actually do with it? I mean, besides just holding on to it? Well, that is where DeFi, or decentralized finance, steps in. Think of it this way. If crypto is the new money, then DeFi is the whole new financial system you can build with it. And boom, we're right back to that idea of a bank without any bankers. So how does it work? The whole thing runs on something called smart contracts, and they're pretty much what they sound like. They're just agreements, but they're written in computer code. So let's say you want a loan. If you check all the boxes that the code requires, the code just executes. It sends you the money, that's it. No paperwork, no waiting for a manager's approval. The rules are the rules, and they are totally automatic. You can already see how different this is from the old way of doing things, right? So you know what? Let's actually put them side by side, a little head-to-head showdown to really see what we're talking about here. And yeah, this is where it gets really stark. Your traditional bank, it's run by people. That means it closes on weekends, it has biases, and this is a big one. They have a boss who can literally decide to freeze your account. But DeFi, it's just code. It doesn't have a boss. It never closes. It is always on 24/7. And maybe the most important thing of all, anyone can use it. You have an internet connection, you're in. No questions asked.
Okay, so it's different. We get it. But why should you care? What's the big deal that's getting so many people excited about this? Let's break down the three biggest reasons. It really comes down to three things. First up is freedom. You don't need anyone's permission to join in. It's totally open. Next is transparency. All the rules, all the money moving around, it's all out in the open for everyone to see. No more hidden fees or shady backroom deals. But honestly, the one that really makes people's ears perk up is this last one, better rewards. And when I say better, well, just take a look at this. I mean, the difference here is just wild. Your normal bank savings account, you're lucky to get what, 0.1%? It's basically nothing. But in DeFi, it's pretty normal to see interest rates between 5 and 10%, sometimes even way more. And how is that possible? Well, when you get rid of all the expensive buildings and all the banker salaries, you can pass all that value right back to the people actually using the system. It's a total game changer. So when you see all this, you have to wonder, right? What happens next? What does this all mean for the future of money itself? Here's the bottom line. We don't know if DeFi is going to completely replace the old system or just force it to get a whole lot better. But either way, the change is happening right now. For the first time in centuries, the actual rules of money are being rewritten. And that's shifting power away from the big institutions and putting it back into the hands of, well, people like you and me. And that leaves us with one last thing to chew on, a really big question. If we can run something as huge and important as a bank with just code, then what else can we run that way? What other things in our world could be totally transformed, made more open, more fair? That is the real revolution that's just getting started. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.